Hey folks, please enjoy this clip from our show, which you can find every single day at 4 p.m. Eastern exclusively on Rumble. We've been doing the best shows we've ever done, completely free of censorship and on a platform that actually supports us. You can also support us on Locals, where you can access a ton of exclusive content, movie riffs, as well as an archive of over 1,000 full episodes going back as far as 7 years. We've also teamed up with Merch Engine to bring you a new lineup of really awesome quality shirts, hoodies, and now even hats. So come check out our untethered, uncensored show on Rumble every single weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern. You stupid idiots.
But we got some Bapa news.
We got Bapa news?
We got some Brendan Schaub Bapa news, bro. Ooh. It's been a while, right? Something else we did.
It's been a while.
Something else we did first. Brendan Schaub doing his 1,000th Fighter and the Kid episode. Is that what I'm looking at here?
Yes,
well,
that is what you were looking at.
You remember that lawsuit that he had? Guys, we're moving over to Locals Only right now. If you want to hear the rest of today's show, just head over there. So go. Go. Remember that lawsuit he had against what's-his-face?
Against Kuzu what's-its?
What's his name? The guy, the fucking alcoholic that's always...
You know, Merch, he talks like this. Opie and Anthony.
Saying Z, right? Saying Z, is that the guy?
I forgot. I remember him suing a guy, and it's been so long. I forgot it was Kyle.
I'll give you an answer. 3 years ago. You want to see what happened? Get ready. I can't believe we have Kern Brendan again. It's been so long. I'm not going to lie. I missed it.
Didn't have his best interests at heart. By the way, all of this is quoted in Kyle's legal filing.
So the lawsuit thing, I'm sure it's a question, the lawsuit thing. A guy who's no longer with me, a business guy, comes to me and goes, hey, man, there's this guy.
I know who the guy is. I know who the business guy is that's no longer with him. Can I guess?
Hella
Mark Harley, baby. Hella Mark Harley.
Yeah.
Thing. A guy who's no longer with me, a business guy, comes to me and goes, hey, man, there's this guy on YouTube. Again, I hand to God, I've never seen any of it. I don't see any of it. So this guy who...
Liar. Ben Pixels.
Never seen him.
Ben Pixels fucked us so many times on YouTube, you fucking liar.
Works for me, right? Doing this stuff. Business manager. He goes, hey, man, I got a call from this lawyer. I've known him a long time. There's this guy on YouTube. He's making thousands of videos, bad mouthing.
He didn't make thousands of videos. Hundreds.
And using your content, blah, blah. And I go,
he said, I don't care.
I go, I don't care, dude.
But you do care, though. You guys talked about us on your show when we busted your balls.
There's a million of them. What are you going to do? He goes, that's bad, man. He said, you hit your kids. And I was like, okay. Next week comes back, same thing. Dude, I'm telling you, I really think we should do something. And they know how to pull out my heartstring. He goes, he has a rap sheet where, he beat his son. It's on video on there. I'm like, whoa. All right, do what you got to do.
Right. So wait, what is him?
So you're doing this to defend his kid?
Apparently. That's how they tugged on it. That's how they tugged on his heartstrings.
Right.
And I was told...
Child abuse.
They tugged on his heartstrings.
Shrugged on his heartstrings.
This is easy. It take 3 months. It's still going on. That was
really
3 years ago.
It's 3 years ago, Papa.
Still going on. But here's what people don't realize is... So they told me 3 months, and I don't know if they were in cahoots together, just getting money out of me or whatever.
He thinks they were working together?
He thinks that they were trying to milk him for cash, bro.
Me 10 years ago, I would never. You're never going to beat the internet. It's just, internet's going to internet. There's nothing.
You fought the internet more than anybody.
You can do.
Internet's going to internet.
And at the time, like the initial cost, good amount of money. But again, at the time, whatever, your boy's balling.
At the time, your boy's balling. Notice how he said at the time your boy's balling.
Mm-hmm. So at the time, like, yeah, do what you got to do.
So according to Brendan's lawyers, everything he just said in that clip was a lie.
That's hilarious.
And he was forced to sign an affidavit confirming that it was a lie, which I'll show you in a moment. But here's what Kyle's filing said about those clips you just saw. Thick Boy initiated the lawsuit only after the unnamed business manager told Thick Boy two unequivocally...
They're saying Thick Boy because that's the name of his company.
False statements. One, that Swindells said Schaub hits his kids, and two, that Swindells has a rap sheet where he beat his son. These two statements are absolutely untrue.
I don't believe that saying he beat his son. I think he's a fucking alcoholic retard, but I don't think he beat his kid.
Yet formed the basis for...
I don't want to say for sure, but I remember there being an incident on stream. And I don't think he ever went to jail for it.
Got it.
The Thick Boy filing this action. In that respect, Thick Boy was defrauded by his former business manager and entered into this action under false pretenses. This is also evidence that Thick Boy has never had an interest in litigating its copyright interests in the 4 videos.
Because they told him that they were going to go after them for, the defamation. But what the lawsuit that the lawyer filed that he never even looked at, his lawyer filed was for copyright.
In question. Yeah. It goes on to quote one of the clips. Here, Thick Boy bluntly speculates that the business manager and Robert Allen were possibly scheming to defraud him of money. Schaub appears to state that he knows nothing about Robert Allen or possibly the business manager and would not recognize him if he were in the same room. This shows that Thick Boy was neither involved nor informed in the litigation at any point, even now before this Court of Appeals.
Well, thank God, and people don't realize this, and even if he's doing, dragging it out, it's pro bono. I don't pay any more. So if whatever
that's
issue
that's not what pro bono means. You meant contingency. From pro bono is all just free.
Okay, but
he's paying more.
But he's an idiot. Merce, it's been a while. I know your problem. It's been a while since we've covered him, right?
You're right.
He's a colossal moron.
Have with it. I couldn't tell you what's going on with it. I couldn't tell you when it's going to end.
No cap.
I know nothing about. I don't associate with them anymore. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. Again, I take accountability because that's all. I have to give these people jobs. I have the wrong people around me that
Guys, he has a staff.
hired. Horrible people, right? I have this business guy that had no business managing any of my
Yeah, but you're the idiot.
Yeah, you're the
bad
one
information. And I'm at a time where I'm not steering the ship, and it's not good.
So Brendan thought he was clearing things up for the record. He was doing his best in every facet to explain how he is no longer associated with the lawsuit. It's out of his hands. These other guys are taking care of it pro bono, which clearly he has no fucking idea what that actually means.
And there it is.
Funny.
By the way, this guy's podcast cringe. If you want to follow him on YouTube.
Yeah, I follow this guy. He's pretty
Here
good.
is what
He's actually
Kyle's
one of the
filing said
better
about-
guys to cover this area.
At that clip. So Thick Boy had ended its association with the former business manager who was handling this case and knows nothing about the litigation. Thick Boy is not receiving updates from its legal counsel. This raises an important question regarding that previous delegation of authority. If the employee who was controlling the litigation is now gone and Thick Boy knows nothing about the lawsuit and has no interest in it, who is making the decisions?
So yeah, who is doing this?
Thick Boy makes it sound like the former business manager is still handling the case without authority. As far as decision-making authority, Thick Boy stated, "Your boy's back. I've been back about a year now. I run everything. Everything you see is me. Everything you see is my decision."
So they
obviously this is
They completely just fucked him. Probably took money from him. Remember that fucking podcast advertising people that wasn't paying people was paying him or Cornette or anybody?
Yeah, that's something cast. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
confusing. The original lawsuit was filed in February 2022, and this appeal was filed in March 24. Schaub wrested decision-making authority of Thick Boy's operations away from the former business manager a year ago and has no knowledge or interest in the current litigation. This indicates that Thick Boy never gave consent for his appeal to be filed and move forward. Wow, that's some good ghost lawyering right there. Thank him. And speaking of lawyering, I would pay good money to see the look on Brendan's lawyer's face when he saw this legal filing and then went to watch all the clips that were quoted. Imagine the slow closing of the eyes, the acceptance that your client is a redact, and then scrambling to undo everything Bappa just said. Well, this is what they came up with. And I'm going to try my best not to laugh while I read this to you.
This is great.
Stay strong.
I'm enjoying this. This is so. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I miss this.
Brothers, here we go. Declaration of Brendan Schaub. I am the CEO of Thick Boy Productions. In February 2022, I appointed Robert Allen as Thick Boy's lead counsel in this action. Mr. Allen has regularly communicated with my business manager Lex McMahon and me regarding the status of this action. Mr. Allen had full authority from Thick Boy to file the complaint against Carl Swindells on February 28, 2022. Mr. Allen had full authority from Thick Boy to file the notice of appeal of the District Court's decision on March 1, 2024. Mr. Allen continues to have full authority to act on Thick Boy's behalf.
So now he has to go against what he just said.
In all matters associated with this
What
action.
an idiot.
I understand that
He had
Thick
to
Boy
say that because basically what he said was this lawyer who's been filing
He's doing
all
it
these
without him.
things-
Yeah.
Yeah, and has been doing it illegally. So this fucking lawyer called Brendan up and said, "Motherfucker, you fix this and you fix it now."
has fully participated in this action as required, including making the decisions to file the lawsuit, responding to discovery, and deciding to file the appeal. I understand that Thick Boy's complaint in this action alleges that Kyle Swindell's committed copyright infringement and not defamation. Oh, I almost made it. I understand that Thick Boy filed its opening appeal brief in early May 24 and that the parties are currently waiting for a decision from the court. So here we have a signed affidavit from Brendan Shaw basically refuting everything he said about the lawsuit over the last 2 years. This is the signed confession of a compulsive liar. And for those of you wondering why this is so serious, it's because if what Brendan was saying on episode 1000 of The Fighter and a Kid, you know how the lawsuit is out of his hands, he's not up to speed, he knows nothing about it, well, that would imply that somebody was submitting the legal filings without Thick Boy's knowledge or approval, which is illegal, right? Like, that's potentially a criminal act.
Not potentially. That is a criminal act.
It's a
But
criminal
here's
act.
the
If a
best
lawyer
part.
files on behalf of our company, that is a criminal act.
Yep.
Now that Bupper submitted a sworn affidavit to the court, if he says anything to contradict any of those 9 points on his podcast or in an interview or whatever, well, that would be perjury. Seriously, only Brandon could get himself into this much shit.
All you had to do was let people make fun of you online, Brandon.
That's all.
That's all. It was so
We
simple.
were just new boot goofing, bud.
It was so simple and it was so easy and instead you had to do legal actions. I don't understand.
Yeah, and let's call this what it is, because a lot of us were making fun of you. You just went after Z because he's poor and black and stupid.
Yes, correct.
And you didn't go after us. You didn't go after anybody else.
God, I wish he would have. That would have been fucking hilarious, you know?